Okay, welcome back, everyone, to our second lecture today, Christian marriage and family. We're at the end of chapter 5, so we've been talking about attitudes, temperament, behavior. Our main lesson is that we take all the truth that we have been taught, apply it for personal transformation for our own lives, so that we can build. We can relate correctly, rightly, and we also use that to help other people if they when they reach out for help. The last part in chapter 5, which is bottom of page 65. Let me just go ahead and share that. Is just a little bit of guidance on how you could help each other, like how to help your spouse also live out this Christ-like attitude, spirit control, temperament, and a word-governed behavior. How to live it out so you can be a support to each other. So just simple examples. So suppose your spouse. I'm looking at that table there. If your spouse is complaining, grumbling at certain situations, then in a very nice way you can say, what if we look at the positive things? So you're being a support to each other in actually living out these truths, Or what if your spouse feels offended? Somebody said something. Oh, I didn't like how he said or what he said. They get offended and they want to carry some sort of bitterness or unforgiveness. How about in that situation, helping them understand that, what was done was unfair and hurt, but how about extending forgiveness? How about extending grace in that situation? Or what if your spouse is being critical and finding fault with other people? That time, how about saying, hey, let's look at the good things. Let's look at the good side of the other person. So basically what we're saying is, in the marriage, we're also supporting each other to walk this out, to live this out. Walk out that Christ-like attitude, spirit-controlled temperament, and word-governed behavior. We support each other because we need each other, right? We're not perfect. And if we can help each other, sometimes because of what has happened, we may tend to, be upset and not necessarily look at it from a Christ-like perspective. So that's where the spouse can be a support to the other person. So if your spouse seems ungrateful, unhappy, dissatisfied, how about saying, let's be thankful. Let's be grateful what we have, whatever we're going through. Let's be thankful and grateful. Or if your spouse is being proud, boastful, hey, how about staying humble in that situation? Let's not be boastful. Or if the spouse seems selfish, self-centered, how about you share, like, let's be generous, let's be selfless. The point is that we can help each other walk this walk, right? So there's personal transformation, and then also in the marriage, you're helping each other live this out. Right? And that's a great place to be. Okay. Let's go to chapter number 6. Now, any questions before we make the change? Everyone's okay? Right. Yes? Sorry? No question. Okay. Let's go to chapter number 6, which is we're dealing with communication, right? So we talked about attitudes, temperament, behavior, essential part of building good relationship. Another essential part of good relationship is communication, talking to each other. And in talking to each other, the goal is to come to a place where the husband and wife can be safe to share their heart and minds. Right? To come to that place. In the beginning, it may or may not be there, right? Depending on the level of comfort that the two people find. But to come to that place where they can be very, it's a safe space to share your heart and mind. So we talk about communication, obviously there are different levels of communication. There could be casual communication. Now all the students passing by, good morning, sir, good morning. Yeah, good morning, finished. Communication over. Nothing more than that, right? It's a very casual, good morning, pastor. Yeah, good morning. Finished. How are you? Fine. Finished. So it's a very casual, it's just that. Then there's professional communication where, yeah, we would talk a lot, but it's at a professional level. They're sharing ideas, and so especially, let's say, in the workplace, yeah, we may have a lot of communication happening, but it's at a professional level. Within that space, you talk about your work, what you need to do, finish. Then there is friendship. Friendship is at a more deeper level. Right? It's not the casual, it's not the professional, but if you have a close friend, you can share some deeper thoughts. Hey, this is what I'm going through, or this is what I'm learning. It's something a little deeper. And so that communication that happens in the context of friendship is more closer to your heart than the casual or the professional. Those all have their place. Casual and professional has its place. We need it. Fine. Friendship, communication. And the most deepest level is the intimate communication, which should happen in the marriage, where you can share your feelings, your heart, your thought, your dreams, your struggles, your joys, whatever. So coming to that place where you can share that. So, in the casual, professional, you normally don't share intimate information. It's all at a certain high level. But only to people who are really close with, you'll be able to open your heart and share. This is what I'm going through. This is my struggle. And you can do that because that person is not going to judge you. The person is not going to attack you. The person is not going to use that information against you. And that person is actually going to try to help you, go through that struggle or go through that. Then you open your heart and you talk and you share. Share your dreams. This is what I hope to do. I'm working for, praying about. So that intimate level of communication happens in a safe space. When you feel you're safe, then you're able to open your heart. Share what your thoughts are. Have that. Now, in the context of marriage, we want to try to have that friendship level and intimate level communication. There will be that casual and professional meeting. Today we have to go buy groceries. Today I have to clean the house. All those things are part of the communication. Happens. But we also want to come to that place of friendship, being good friends, and having that intimate communication. Okay? If in marriage, the communication is only casual and kind of that professional, very, we need to get work done, we'll do. Then what happens is the husband or the wife, they feel like something is missing, in the marriage, because they're not having that deeper level of communication. And many times that leads to dissatisfaction. I'm not satisfied. There's something missing. And then they come for help. That you'll know when they come for help. There is pain. Communication is happening, but it is not happening at this level of friendship and intimacy. It's happening at that, okay, please buy 1 kg tomato, 3 kg, whatever, and come home. Yes, I will do. finished. He's brought the tomato, he's brought the onions, come home, finished. Communication is happening at that level. How are you feeling? What are you going through? Husband or wife? How was your day? What is happening? That level of communication is not happening. So somebody will, husband or wife, will not satisfied. Okay? And then usually they reach out for help. Okay, I recognize that. The problem is the communication is happening, but it's at that level. It's just that top level, surface level. The deeper things are not happening. Yeah. So let me just say something here. So this is where, I remember when we started saying, when you are looking for a spouse, you want to find somebody who's at a similar or close to you spiritually, because you want to have this kind of conversation. So let's say, example, you had a wonderful time in the Word of God. You prayed. You were having a devotion. God showed you something nice. What would you like to do? Normally, you want to go and share with your spouse. Hey, today I was reading my Bible, I was praying, I saw this in the Bible, or I learned this in Scripture. Whom you want to share? You want to share with your spouse. But if the spouse is not that keen, of course, they may be believer, they love Jesus, they love Jesus, but for them is, I love Jesus, I go to church once a week. I'm a believer, yes, I believe, but my spiritual life is to that extent. Then you're not able to actually share, right? What you are excited about. Hey, something happened, I learned something. You can't even have that conversation. Correct. So that is why in the beginning we said you look for compatibility, spirit, soul, and body. Spiritually also there must be compatibility. Right? Somewhere about the same spiritual level. I'm not saying both of you are big spiritual giants, but at least same spiritual level where you can have a conversation, where you can talk about spiritual things, or the things that you are interested in, things you may be learning spiritually. Because then that becomes, I'm not saying, all the time you're going to talk about that, but that is part of your conversation. Or maybe you heard a nice song that ministered to you, it's good to say, hey, I would like you to listen to a song. It's so meaningful. Share that song. You can listen, maybe, and both be blessed. So that the ability to share even those spiritual things is important. Which is happening at that level of friendship and intimacy, communication, right? It's not that superficial level. It's a serious thing. It's a more deeper level of communication that's happening in the marriage, right? So you need that, the ability to. So that's why when you're looking for a spouse, look for somebody that's spiritually compatible, who's open for these kinds of things. If they're not interested, then you want to share, but you cannot share. You feel very frustrated. Right? So, coming back to this, page 68. So, for communication to happen, there are three things. There must be time, there must be trust, there must be transparency. So, time is one big problem for many people, especially in the cities, especially if husband and wife are working, no time, And plus, when children are there, especially when children are growing up, because you come home, then you have to take care of children. Right? Just take care of them, school, the studies, whatever. So much of time is goes into the things of life, work, family, taking care of family, all those things. So no time to sit down and just talk like friends, right? Just to have a casual conversation, right? So time. And we will talk about some practical things. So you need to be intentional in setting time aside. Then having trust and transparency. So let's talk about each of these three things. So time, number one, time. So life can be busy, like we said. So try to intentionally set aside time to talk. As husband, wife, as family. As children grow up, children also need that time. Okay, so maybe in the early days, till their age, whatever, 5, 6, okay, you're paying a lot of attention and taking care of them. After some time, after they grow up a little bit, they also want to talk. They want to say something. So you have to give them the space. They may want to talk about whatever, their games, or their something happened in class today, school today. They want to talk. But parents don't have time to listen. Then what do? WhatsApp. WhatsApp their friend. Start talking to people outside because they want to share what is on their heart. Right? And if parents don't have time to listen, they'll want to talk. They'll have to find somebody else to listen to them. And then that's when they build more friendships outside, when actually they should be building friendships, a relationship with their own parents. Right? So that's part of it. But now, so the thing is setting aside regular time. Right? And also time when you have the energy to talk. Right? If it's very late and they're very tired, then obviously you're not able to hold conversation. Right? So there will be time, there will be these professional things to be done. I mean, to do kind of talk where, we need to do this for the house, we need to do this and all that. Yeah, you talk about those things, but you also talk about some more, level of friendship and intimacy, things closer to the heart. Okay? So how do you do this? So at least in our case, in Amy and my case, in the mornings, we would try to, even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we'll sit and have tea and coffee together, morning. Okay. So it's not a very long time because we will have to get ready for work. Right? And then when kids were small, a lot of things you had to prepare their lunch, get them ready, send them to school. So it was mornings are, for most homes, mornings are quite busy. But at least to have 15 minutes, 20 minutes to have your tea and coffee before you get your things started, your day started. Then what we practice, and we still practice, is dinner we always have together. Always. Right? So we will all sit together. So when the kids were at home, we'll all sit together, have dinner together, as far as possible. Now, there'll be some times when, if either I am late or something has happened, then I'm not there. It's okay. You go ahead and have dinner. But normal is we all sit and have dinner together. Usually 6:30. We eat early, so 6:30, 7 dinner. And so dinner time, time for prayer together, and over dinner we chat a little bit. How was your day? What happened? Like that. So this conversation. When kids are there, okay, what they chance for them to say what happened in school, whatever. It was something different. Then we'll all clean up together. Then right after dinner, our ritual was, and still is, we will sit as for family time. Right? Family time means, okay, dinner's over, we've cleaned the table, put everything away, we're sitting, just talk. Whatever conversation, just talk. And after talking for Sunday, we go into time for prayer, family prayer. So that used to be our normal practice. It still is, except that now it's only Amy and me. Children are gone. But from the time children were there, that was our normal practice. I know some days we'll mess. If one of us gets late at work or whatever, that's okay. But the normal routine is this. So what we are doing is we are building into our schedule time to have conversation. Even if it's morning, it's just a little bit, because morning is hurry time. 15 minutes, sometimes will be more, but an evening, over dinner and after dinner. Right? We are building that time where there is a place for conversation with the children, and now it's just Amy and me. So for us to talk, just whatever, there's no set agenda. Whatever you talk, you talk. We share, we might discuss things, whatever. Then we pray together, all that. Right? So the conversation happening. So now, since our children are grown up, again, we maintain communication. And now, of course, we have these tools, WhatsApp, calls, all this. So the communication's happening on almost, I wouldn't say every day, but on a almost daily basis. They'll share picture, what's happening, family group, So the communication's happening. Plus, every week, our daughter's very regular. Every week, for us, it is Wednesday morning. Yeah. Our Wednesday morning, her Tuesday evening. Every week, call. Our son is not like that. He's more free flow. We just, whenever he wants, he'll call or talk. But the WhatsApp messages happen throughout the week. So the point is communication, sharing what is happening in your life, and discussing things. What is going on, or what are your thoughts? So that must continue. Of course, they're adults now, mid-20s, but that communication must is happening, right? So that's of course family, and then at home now it's only Amy and me. We sit and talk. So the point is to make the time for conversation. Right? If the time is not there, communication won't happen. It will be very, like we said, get this done, get that done. That kind of a conversation will happen. But if for friendship and intimate communication, you need time. You got it, right? So you have to make time. So especially when couples come for counseling, for help, one of the things is their lives are so busy, no time. So we have to show them, hey, okay, first we understand their schedule, or how they're working, all that. Then try to have them see, you at least take some time. Try to do it on a daily basis, but if not, at least on a weekly basis, you should have time for each other. Only then communication can happen. If life is so busy, no communication, then how are you going to have relationship? Right? So time is a issue. To have them find time, make time, and keep it consistent. Should keep on happening. Life is a journey. Keep time happening. Time for communication. Any questions? Second, trust. So only when you trust the other person, you're going to open up your heart. If you don't trust, everything will be a secret. I can't say anything. Because if I say something, will it be used against me? Right? So trust. Trust is something you earn and you give. Right? You give trust to your spouse, and you also earn trust. Some very, I shouldn't be laughing, but some situations in marriage, there was so much distrust. Example, I'm saying, and this is real scenarios, but very sad. There's so much distrust that husband, sometimes wife, recording the messages, conversations, secretly. But that is a very bad scenario, very bad situation. It shows how much distrust has come into the. I'm again talking about believers, and all these examples are believers. But that level of trust had gone into the negative to that extent where one spouse is recording whatever conversation is going on with the other spouse. Things like that. That is very unhealthy, very bad, very bad. No. But that shows that, of course, there are reasons, that have created that distrust in the marriage situation, and it had reached that level. But we should never allow that to get there. So from beginning, remember, trust is earned, trust is also given. In the beginning, you're going to give trust. It's a gift you're giving to your spouse, right? I trust you. I'm giving it as a gift. But, and also your spouse is giving you the gift of trust. But every time you violate it, the level of trust goes down. Every time you violate that trust, you can't help it. They gave you the gift of trust. But if you violate it, don't keep. So how is you violate? Example, you don't keep your word. Yeah. I will come at 6 o'clock. Wife is ready, waiting for you, 6 o'clock. And you show up happily 8 o'clock. What happened? I was waiting. You said 6 o'clock, I was ready. Come. No, on the way I felt like I should eat one masala dosa. I went to do this. Okay, but you said 6 o'clock, I'm ready, I'm waiting for you. See, it may seem like a small thing, but that little not keeping your word slowly starts to break. The next time you say 6 o'clock, she'll say, he says 6 o'clock, he might come anytime after 6. Because it has happened before. If it happens 2-3 times, confirmed. It is confirmed that if he says 6 o'clock, it will not be 6. So what has happened? What is happening is that gift of trust is being lost. Trust is given, but trust is also earned. So that's why, to the best extent, must keep your word. Even simple things, small things. And if you know you cannot keep your word, say in advance that, hey, I told you I'll come at 6 o'clock, but something happened. I got stuck at work, or there is something. I will reach at 6:30. I will come by 7 o'clock. You immediately, that means you're saying, my word is important, but something has happened where I'm unable to keep that. So I'm letting you know that something has come, and so I have to make the change. Then they see, okay. Word is important, but yes, some things happen in situations. So, but they're taking responsibility to inform me. So trust, you must maintain us. The other thing is, second point is that, the spouse must have confidence that what they share with you in confidence will be kept in confidence. And you're not going to use it against them, or you're not going to go and tell it to 10 other people. One time, if the husband or wife share something, then you go and tell 10 people, and they hear, hey, I told my husband, I told my wife, but now 10 other people know about it. Finished. They are not going to open their heart because what they have shared with you, you have not kept it secret. I mean, confidence. I'm not saying the secret. It's like they trusted you. They were sharing their heart with you, but you didn't keep it. Instead, you went and told everybody else. Now it is coming from them. It is coming to them. They lose trust. Or if it is used against them, say if they share their weakness, and in some situation you bring it up. You're like this only. You told me that day. You're always like this. Or that what has happened is they've shared something, but now you're using it against them. Then they won't open anymore. So trust has to be earned. How you handle this thing. So we have to be very careful. What your spouse is sharing with you, keep it. Maybe sometimes you can pray about it. Maybe you can try and understand those things, but never go tell other people and never use it against them. You're understanding, right? Because that is how you create an environment, a safe environment. So if your spouse feels safe, hey, I shared this and my husband, my wife is handling that matter correctly, they will begin to open up more. They will begin to share more. Otherwise, they'll stop sharing. Communication will go down. Yeah, get it? Yeah. So that trust then leads to transparency. Then if they feel there's an environment of trust, they can become more and more transparent. They can share things, where they can share their innermost thoughts. So remember, time and trust will then lead to transparency. They can talk. They can become more and more transparent. That's when you can have that deep, intimate communication. Right? So we have to develop this. We have to build this. Now, like I said earlier, one of our biggest problems in our urban life here in the city is people don't have time. They don't have time. I should say they have time, but the time is they're busy with so many things. So we all have the same amount of time. I should correct myself. We all have the same amount of time, but living in the city here, what we find is there's so many things that take up our time. And I'll just make this comment here. But actually, when you look at it, social media, these things that come to us on our phone, in the form of entertainment and whatever, actually eats up a lot of our time. Instagram, this thing, that thing, social media communication. It's actually eating away a lot of time. And we don't realize it. We say we don't have time. But then you say, how much time you spend on Instagram? How much time you spend on Facebook or whatever? Oh, that means you actually have time, but that time is being used up in other things, social media. And this is true about even children. The average, and I'm talking about urban standards, this may not apply to children in towns and villages, but urban setting, average 6 to 8 hours online. And children, teens, much more. Time being spent on a daily basis. Chatting, playing games, all those things. Time is being consumed. So we have the time, but our time is being consumed by these things. So it is important that as husband, wife, have controls. I'm not saying, don't have Instagram account, Facebook. That is your choice. You want to have, you have. That's your decision. But put the control on how much of time you spend on those things. Right? You want to put a picture on your Facebook, on Instagram, that's all your choice. But it shouldn't eat up your time. Otherwise, it's taking away time from communication, from the time that you could be spending with your spouse. Okay? And also, because our world, our urban life is so connected, we may come back from work, but we are actually still, at work, meaning from home, we work from home, on the phone, laptop, things. So when you talk to people, these are things we will find. That, yeah, I went to office, maybe 9 to 5, whatever time it was, came home, but as soon as I reached home, I opened my laptop. So actually, office is continuing, work is continuing. And so then there is no time for communication. Right? So that is what is our urban life has become, and it is therefore impacting marriage. So trying to help people, work through these things, because if you don't address this, then they can never make time for communication in marriage, and then there will never be trust and transparency. It will just be two people are married and they're going through life, and children again get caught up in other things. So I just want to say this there. Okay, let me stop here. Any questions so far on communication?
No, sir.
Anyone else? Any questions? Plus, anyone? Questions? Okay. Let's go back to. Okay. So look at a quick check on page 70. We can, of course, as single people, this may not be relevant, but you could use this in the future, or when people come to you to talk to you, get help. These are some questions you can ask them to assess where their level of communication is, what is actually going on in their marriage in terms of what is happening in communication, right? So let's just cover a few more points and then we will close for today. Communication is an important building block for a strong marriage. It's important, very important, right? So it's going to help us, help people know and understand each other, bring them closer to each other. They should work as a team, be able to do things together. They should be able to support each other. You need communication to be of help, strength to each other, to be able to resolve issues. Two people are never the same. They'll have different ideas, different perspectives, but you need to talk about it, sort things out. Growing together spiritually, also guarding your marriage. So if you have a good communication within your marriage, you don't need to go and look for things elsewhere. You need it for nurturing children, and you need to cherish, to create memories and cherish those memories. So it's so nice when children look back and say, "Oh, you told me this when I was growing up. I still remember it." Like, wow. Oh. So those are those memories, right? You said something, they still remember. It's stuck with them, and it's so nice. So you're creating those memories, and there are moments when you can cherish those, remember those memories. But how it happened? Communication. You said something at a certain time, and it stuck with them. And years later, they remember, and they are able to, make decisions, guide their life through those moments of communication. So one of the things especially in the parenting context, is we try to use teachable moments, like just as in the normal flow of things, as things are happening, you use those situations to teach the children. Like, just use it as a teachable moment. I'm just giving an example, but suppose you're just driving down the street, something happens, and they say, "Oh, look, that's happening." Okay, so okay, what is happening? Oh, two people are behaving like this. Okay, what do you think would be the right thing to do in a situation, right? And you're getting the children to think, and you're using just a normal, unplanned situation as a teachable moment. Oh, you're making them think about it. And then you're imparting, okay, this is what we should be doing, right? So you look for teachable moments as part of the communication, especially when we're working with children. And they will remember those moments years later, those moments. Okay, so let's stop here for today. We'll continue on this lesson from page 71. Next week, we'll learn more about communication and so on. Before we close, any final questions from anyone? Please, you can pass the mic.
I was listening to a lady. I mean, they were married, they had kids, but no communication, zero. And husband wouldn't tell anything. There was something like an hidden agenda. He would never tell. Because if he would be open to her, things would come out. So to avoid that, he would never speak up. She was finding hard. She waited and waited. Things didn't go well. I mean, I didn't know how to minister at some point, Pastor, because it was hard. Because I told her, I can't do it alone. You have to see a pastor, and you have to have 2 or 3 people to check what's going on, because he's not ready to meet anybody. She was a believer. He was not a believer. That was another struggle. So, but sometimes he would go, but not all the time, to church. But basically, he wouldn't go to church, I would say. And she was struggling. At the end of the day, they got divorced. I think she's happier now than before. So my question is, how do you handle such people who are hiding information with your wife? Because the truth comes out, right? I mean, once you walk with Jesus, he would not let such things continue in a marriage where one person is hiding information. How do you handle this?
Yeah. So, it's a very, very sad and difficult situation, right? Where if the husband is, like for whatever reason, has been secretive, hiding information, I mean, and plus he's not in a position to receive any kind of guidance or counsel, then it's very difficult because we can't force the person to just say, and whatever the reasons are, there could be other, like you said, maybe some hidden agenda or some other underlying reasons for that kind of a behavior, where they're not disclosing. But it's going, there's no solution in the sense that we can't go and force that person, hey, tell what's going on. Can't do that. We could definitely try to encourage, talk about the positives of having communication, sharing, and so on. And we can't force people to, can't do it. So there's another question. Okay, there's somebody asking a general question. If a non-believing boy or girl wants to come to Bible college, can they come or not? I just want to know. The answer is no. We can just let them, all our videos, our lessons are available online. So if they, we don't monitor who listens or who, so they can definitely listen to all these lectures. But one of the requirements to come to Bible College is that you're a believer, and the intent is to be equipped to serve God. So if they're not a believer, then they don't even meet that criteria. So we wouldn't admit them in the Bible College. But if they say that, I just want to explore the Christian faith, I just want to learn different things in the Bible, then our response is, hey, everything is available for free online. So just go and listen to as much as you want. All our sermons are available online. Everything is there. So we would encourage them to use the resources. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. We'll close for today. Thank you. We'll continue this next week. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.